We lost an elite firefighter and a brother.
Chief Darnell Fulham joined DeKalb County firefighters from Station 24 on Redan Road to begin paying tribute to one of their own, Master Firefighter Preston Fant, killed in the line of duty. Fulham says they got the call around 1:30 Monday afternoon of a fire at this warehouse at 2569 Stone Mountain Lithonia Road, a 14,000 square foot structure.
While making an interior fire attack, Master Firefighter Preston Fant was overcome by fire conditions.
Fulham says Fant was rescuing another firefighter when he became trapped. They immediately switched their operation to a rescue operation and got Fant out of the building.
Life-saving efforts were started on scene. Fant was transported to Grady Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries.
Fulham says Fant was a 21-year veteran, skilled in swift water, trench, and high-rise rescue, and was a father figure to the younger firefighters. But most of all, he was a dedicated husband and father to his own 5 children, the family he leaves behind.
What we're going to do right now is just surround them, put our arms around them, and support that family.
And welcome back to the Decatur Dish, your weekly show where we dish out all that's going on in DeKalb County. And there is always a lot going on in DeKalb County. I'm Mariya Murrow with Atlanta News First, joined by our media partners at Decatur Dish. Dan Whisenhunt here with me. As always, Dan, a pleasure to have you. This week has been heavy for the county as we talk about a firefighter, a 21-year veteran of DeKalb Fire Rescue who lost his life on Monday while responding to a warehouse blaze. Talk to me about what you've been hearing from community members and officials that you've been speaking with.
Thanks, Mariya. It's great to be here. I hate that we're discussing yet another death involving one of our first responders. Preston Fant was responding to a warehouse fire in Stonecrest on Monday. I don't know the exact circumstances of how he was injured, but he was injured and succumbed to his injuries. We don't know a whole lot about the fire itself. One thing that I was sort of surprised by, we were at the press conference at his fire station in Stone Mountain. The fire chief said that this is actually the first line of duty death that they have had, perhaps ever, which I think is a real testament to just how well run that department is. But obviously, tough time for our colleagues over at DeKalb Fire and Rescue. Our prayers and thoughts and heart goes out to all of them, and we hate that we're covering another death of a first responder. It happened almost 1 month to the day when Officer David Rose was shot in that active shooting incident at the CDC.
And I want to just show folks a little bit of the procession that went on Wednesday morning. It was short but very meaningful, very somber for community members and fellow firefighters as they moved Fant's body from the medical examiner's office to a funeral home in Mariya. We are still piecing together the details of any upcoming funeral service and memorial. As soon as we learn that information, we will share that with you right here on Atlanta News First and on DecaturDish.com. But in the meantime, yeah, this is just a really difficult time, Dan, for the DeKalb County community. CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson said it best, that the whole county is grieving with the family. Preston Fant, a father of 5, a beloved husband, and a devoted member of his community. Let's move into some other headlines that we're following. Talk to me a little bit about what's been going on in Avondale Estates. 6 businesses now set to move into a downtown commercial development, and we are talking about 24,000 square feet of space.
It's called the Dale. It's going to be near the town green. These town greens are really economic generators. They attract all kinds of business. It's going to have an Italian restaurant, Tex-Mex restaurant, a rooftop bar.
A gelato place?
A gelato place. The gelato quote was funny because that came in a press release, and Meredith Ford, who owns that gelato place, she's moving from Decatur. And in that press release, she said, "I can't wait to have a spot that's more visible than the one I currently have." So I thought that was funny that she was throwing a little shade in the press release. But The Town Green project has been a resounding success over there in Avondale Estates. City of Tucker is about to complete their Town Green project as well. I imagine it will attract similar investments from the business community. But Avondale Estates is growing. It's amazing what having good government will get you. A lot of progress.
Certainly. I'm glad you bring up Tucker, by the way. The city incorporated back in 2016, now considering whether it should form its own police force after a study came out saying that Tucker is dealing with longer than usual wait times for DeKalb police to respond to high priority calls, more so than Brookhaven and Dunwoody. So they're saying maybe it's time for us to take matters into our own hands and form our police department. And Dan, what is the feasibility here of that actually happening?
According to the study, they spend more than Brookhaven and Dunwoody on police services, and arguably get less for what they spend. That said, CEO Lorraine Cochran-Johnson has made some pretty significant investments in public safety since taking office in January, and they're trying to beef up the presence of police in Tucker. I went to a neighborhood meeting on Tuesday night to discuss the study and what its implications are. And the one thing that was said there that I thought was kind of interesting is the Tucker precinct doesn't just include the city of Tucker. It includes places that are not in Tucker. So depending on the call volume at any given time, you might have every officer in that precinct in Tucker, or you might have one or two. That is certainly a point of consideration. The thing that I get from the city is the city, I don't think, was pushing for this. That's just the vibe that I'm getting from the people I've talked to. This is really coming from the Civic Association and the CID. The thing I enjoy about it the most is it's not about pickleball. I always knew there was other stuff going on in Tucker, and this confirms it. There's actually a discussion about policing services going on, but apparently it's financially feasible. So,
would the police play pickleball?
I would imagine they would be expected to have a membership to the rec center at the very least, and there's pickleball there, so sure, why not?
All Tucker roads lead back to pickleball.
As the ball pickles.
As the ball pickles. Last week, we talked about affordable housing, and we had the CEO of Decatur's Housing Authority on with us to weigh in on that discussion. Well, Decatur City Commissioner is now considering accepting a report that outlines strategies for preserving naturally occurring affordable housing within the city. And really, Dan, we talk about that. It's a county-wide issue. City of Decatur, DeKalb County, together dealing with affordable housing and how best to address and bring forward tangible solutions.
In Decatur, the sale price has increased 43% since 2019, and that has created all kinds of development pressure in Decatur. But as you alluded to, affordable housing is not just a Decatur-specific issue. It's being talked about countywide in the metro region and nationwide, frankly. Here to talk to us about the county's affordable housing initiatives is DeKalb County Commissioner Michelle Long-Spears.
And we will have Commissioner Spears on after this short break.
Joining us today is DeKalb County Commissioner Michelle Long Spears, who has the most literary sounding name of any of the commissioners. Commissioner Spears, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dan. Very glad to be here today.
We, unfortunately, as we talked about at the top of the show, we had a tragedy this week involving DeKalb County firefighter Preston Fant. He died responding to a commercial fire. He's a 21-year veteran. Commissioner Spears, what's your reaction to this news?
It is truly heartbreaking. About a month ago, we lost a police officer as well. It has been a very difficult month for DeKalb County, and I truly extend my deepest sympathies to his family, his friends, the fire force that we have in DeKalb County, and the whole DeKalb family.
Indeed. We are all very appreciative of the work that all of our first responders do and the risks that they take every day, and we wish him and his family the best. Commissioner Spears, at the top of the show, we discussed the city of Decatur is taking on, accepting an affordable housing report, and we noted that affordability is a discussion that's happening not just in Decatur, not even just countywide, but across the nation. Let's zero in on DeKalb County specifically, though. What are some of the unique affordable housing challenges in DeKalb County, and what's the county doing about it?
Well, I'm very excited to share that last year we passed legislation to have our very first housing plan. That work should be kicking off very soon. It'll take roughly a year or so to complete that project. Within the project itself, though, we outlined some of the needs for our community, and that varies from having different types of housing. We're very blessed in DeKalb. So many people really do want to age in place. We have a great community, a lot of assets, and as we age, as our life evolves and changes, our housing needs change. And so I'm so proud of our commissioners and our CEO for rallying together to support our housing plan. We also recently took a trip to Texas, a delegation trip. We visited the cities of both San Antonio and Houston, and that is Bexar and Harris counties respectively. And when we were both present, we had a delegation of 21 people. We studied different housing options. We visited various affordable housing communities as well as tiny home communities. It was truly a remarkable experience. My eyes were wide open. I came home just filled with ideas and the possibilities of what we can do here in DeKalb County to address our affordable housing issue and make sure that all members of our community have a bed to place their head in at nights.
Texas is not traditionally known as a beacon of progressive thought, so it's interesting that you went there looking for ideas on your housing policy. Why Texas?
Houston specifically has been known around the country to have some of the best outcomes for placing unhoused individuals into homes. In fact, I recently read a report where they boasted that in a very short period of time they were able to place 25,000 unhoused people into permanent supportive housing. That is awesome, and I think if we focus and we come together as one DeKalb, we can also do the same, and I can tell you I will set that goal even higher.
What is the realistic limit to what the county can do? Because a lot of this housing policy that gets implemented is determined by federal funding formulas and the kind of subsidies they give for rent-assistant housing and those types of things. Is there a hard limit to what the county can really do here to move the needle on this issue?
Last year, we introduced several different housing tools. So we have a housing tool belt. In that tool belt, one is a trust fund. City of Atlanta has a trust fund. Another tool is the Community Land Trust. City of Atlanta also has a Community Land Trust, the Atlanta Land Trust, ALT. In addition to something else we've been exploring, has been very active and hot at the commission recently, is reducing minimum square footage. And those are three tools, but there are many other tools that we can explore, and I really look forward to partnering with Decide DeKalb, our housing authority, in the future to address collectively, work together to address those challenges.
Commissioner Spears, switching gears, one issue that you've worked on pretty consistently since you were elected is animal welfare in DeKalb County. It was in a pretty rough spot when you came on board. Where are things now? I know they've built some new facilities. There have been some new investments. I think you do the State of the Animals address every year. Talk to me about the progress that's been made on that front.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking, Dan. Pets have been a passion of mine for a very long time. In my very first year, 2023, several of the DeKalb animal advocates, we refer to them as red shirts, came to me, said, Commissioner, we need help. And we need a commissioner who is going to champion animals in DeKalb County. I said, you know what? I'm your girl. And we worked together with the advocates, also with the Animal Services Advisory Board, other commissioners, the CEO, DeKalb staff, to collectively think through what do we need to do to improve the quality of life for our furry friends. And so in 2024, I hosted my very first State of DeKalb Animals address in the spring. We had our second State of DeKalb Animals address this year in the month of May. And at both of those addresses, what we tried to do was just, one, be real. This is where we're at with animal services. Also is to encourage people to be a part of the solution instead of just complaining about the current circumstances. And so really was, I think, in some ways kind of reframing how we creatively make things better for our animals. And so we are so proud in DeKalb. We did pass legislation to prohibit transient sales. So people cannot sell puppies and kitties and rabbits out of the trunk of their car or in a random parking lot. Earlier this year, we passed our litter registry. I'm very proud of that. We're currently right now in the phase where we're planning to communicate the litter registry to citizens and educate folks about what you can and can't do. Hopefully, enforcement will begin in January of next year. In addition, I am proud to say that very soon, hopefully in the next 30 days or so, we will be officially cutting the ribbon on DeKalb's first pet neighborhood, which is it's adjacent to the current animal shelter in Chamblee, but these facilities will be able to house 120 dogs. So my hope and my prayer is that we'll provide some relief to our animal shelter. If you have not been to DeKalb's animal shelter, I really encourage you to go. It is cramped. It is a group of dedicated staff and volunteers that work in some of the harshest of conditions. On Wednesday, we know it is Euthanasia Wednesday. That's when we're experiencing overpopulation in our shelter, is when dogs are euthanized. And I can tell you that sitting there and holding a paw while that dog is being sent along the Rainbow Bridge is very difficult, heart-wrenching work.
We definitely have nothing but respect for our colleagues at the Animal Services. We actually had the Lifeline CEO on our show a few months ago. If you are a pet owner, get your pet spayed or neutered. Please. Last topic, want to talk to you a little bit about the Arts Council. I'm not familiar with this, so bring me up to speed.
Last year, a group of arts enthusiasts, we came together to think and vision and dream about what we could do with arts in DeKalb County. DeKalb is blessed with so many different murals and entertainment opportunities and other just arts-related industries that I felt it's really time that we elevate. We shine a very bright light on what we're doing for arts in DeKalb County. The Arts Council has been led by a wonderful woman, Jan Selman, who has been in the arts world for, probably 30, 40, maybe even 50 years at this point in time. But again, a small group of us, we got together, we decided, hey, let's do something different, and started thinking through again what an arts council would look like. So fast forward to this year, we have an active resolution at the county commission right now encouraging the commissioners to support the constitution of an arts council. And I hope that we continue to work through it, we deliberate it. Very soon, can't share a whole lot of details yet. We're looking to host a get excited about arts opportunity where people in our community can come and provide input to what they would like to see with arts in their community. How can we lift up artists? What can we do to attract tourists to Assembly Studios, for example, or some of the other arts-related opportunities that we have, and even Decatur, where you're from. And Decatur is absolutely amazing. I'm proud Decatur's in my district. Decatur is an artsy, funky town. And again, I know that there are so many people in DeKalb who are just ready to see us lift up the arts and bring it home and showcase to all of Georgia that we are a community that embraces art, loves our artists, and also truly recognizes that art is an economic development driver. So art is important to residents, but it's also important to businesses.
Quick fact check. I'm actually from Alabama, and if they see art, they try to burn it to the ground. So DeKalb's a little bit different in that regard. I feel like I've upgraded. Commissioner Spears, I hope maybe you can join us again and share some more details about the Arts Council and some other things.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you will join us again soon. This is the Decatur Dish Show. We air right here on Atlanta News First Plus every Thursday. Real quick, the fall fundraiser is going on for DecaturDish.com, and you're not going to believe this, but we are up to 25% of our goal. We've raised almost $12,000 in a week, which I think is the fastest turnaround we've ever had on a fundraiser. To learn more about our fundraiser and support the work we're doing at Decatur, visit supportyourlocalnews.com. With that, we hope everyone has a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday.